Hello, welcome to another episode of Mr. How To. Have you ever wondered what it would be like if you bought a fridge that was actually too big to fit in your house? In today's episode, we're going to show you exactly what you got to do. On the new fridge, you're going to take the doors off, and we're going to show you how to get it through every single doorway and get the doors back on the fridge. This is the old fridge here that we've already taken out. As you can see right here, of course it's on a little bit of an angle, but right there, a little bit of a gap. It's not closing anymore. And it had water up here. So it also doesn't have the ice and water in the door, and I want that. I want ice and water. So another episode, we're also gonna run a water line, and that's about it. But other than that, this fridge is gonna go out. It's gonna get retired out to the shed. It's 2004, it's 20 years old. And so it's time to go into retirement mode and have an easy life of storing wild cherry Pepsis and Coca-Cola Classics and maybe some bottled water on occasion. And so now we got it all unboxed. We're just gonna pull this stuff off, the tape. And also too, this video is unsponsored. We bought this fridge with our own money. LG did not give us any money or sponsor this video in any way. So we're not promoting this fridge. This is just a fridge that my wife and I decided to buy. What do you think, little Bia? What do you think? Do you like it? Do you like it? So this fridge has the water and ice in the door like I want. I like the French doors too. I don't like it when there's like the freezer on one side and the fridge on the other. I like French doors with the freezer on the bottom, because you're always in and out of the fridge 10 times more a day than you are in the freezer. So that's it. Now, what we gotta do is get this thing through a bunch of doors and get it into the kitchen. We gotta get the food out of the old one, get the old one out, and get this one in. So that's what we're gonna work on next. All right, when you buy a fridge, make sure it can fit through all the doorways before you get it. So this one here, from the back to the front, we can see it's 29. We got to take the doors off this one. I'm going to show you why. But we can see it's about 29 7/8. And that's exactly what it says on the box. I would turn the camera around. So the box says with the doors that we're 33 3/4. Without the doors, we're 29 7/8. So we can see here, we're 32 and some change, so we're good on that one. This is the doorway here where she's gonna be a little tight. We can see we're like 30 1/4, but it is gonna work. And you do only need 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch on each side, so we're good. It's gonna come right through here. Plenty of room here. We're gonna slide her right in. All right, so with this LG fridge, in the owner's manual, it says that you have to, first of all, take all the plastic stuff out of the inside. We've done that already. Then you gotta take the screw, there's a screw right here. You gotta take that out. This will then pop off. Then you gotta disconnect these wires. You have to unscrew the ground. And then they're telling us to pull the water line out. That's the one part that kind of scares me a little bit, because this thing is under some pressure. It probably will come out and go back in easily. So it's this one right here. We've already disconnected it. To get rid of the tension, I'm gonna take an extra step and remove this. That should free it up and make it a lot easier. Okay, so there we go. Now, yeah, see how it's pushing on that water line right there? We got very low resistance now just by taking that off. So what I always like to do when I'm doing stuff like this, I like to scatter all this nuts and bolts and screws all over the place. To me, that seems like that's the best thing to do. So there we go, the water line's out. So if we're not in trouble, we should be able to put the water line right back in, and it should come right back out. It's that easy. You got this, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. All right, so here we go. We're gonna lift her up, get this door off of here. If the door gives you a hard time, then chances are you're doing it properly.
You just gotta lift it up.
There we go, door's off. This thing is heavy. This door. That's gonna make this really easy.
Just don't scratch it.
With that door being off, this thing's gonna be really easy to move now. So we're gonna try to leave these on for now.
I think we can.
And I think we're gonna be okay. So, all right, so now we're gonna get this door off of here. So we're gonna disconnect our wiring harness here. All right, there we go. Wiring harness is disconnected. You're gonna do the same thing with this latch right here. You can see how it swings out. It's gonna swing out this way. They recommend a flathead screwdriver. And all you do, put the screwdriver in like that. Get a good angle there. There you go, look at that, done. Lift it up. This door is really light. All right, doors are off. We're gonna get all our remaining tools. These are held on by the wires, so I'm really not too worried about them.
Yep.
We're gonna have to, when we get to the threshold, we got a marble threshold to go over with these wheels, and it's not gonna be easy, but we will get it. Because I don't have a whole lot of room, because this is an exterior wall over here, and we're going in, I wanna be able to wiggle it this way. So we're gonna try to get these around these corners, and hopefully it'll work. I guess we'll see what happens, but. All right, so this is our last doorway that we got to go through, and then we are home free all the way into the kitchen. This is 30 inches or 30 and a quarter, and this is like 29 and 7/8 with the doors off, so it's going to be tight. We are literally going to have 1/8 of an inch, so we may have to take these may have to come off. We'll see. We're just going to mess with it. We're going to do it real gentle for a little bit, and we're just going to see if we can get it in. All right, in order to get these hinges off, I'm going to use a 3/8 drive ratchet with also with a 3/8 drive bit. It's a 6-sided bit, that way we don't strip these out. You want to make sure when you put your fridge back together that you got a few leftover pieces. That always, if you got leftover pieces, that means that you've done something right. That means you are in America, taking doors off the fridge and trying to put them back on. All right, let me grab my screwdriver. So now what we're gonna do, we tried to bring it in through the 1-car garage. It's not gonna fit. Even though this opening is 30 and 1/8, and the box says with the doors off that it's 29 and 7/8, we need about a whole nother inch. You need about 30 and 7/8. So we got enough. We're gonna go around the house. We're gonna go through the front door, go through the living room, the dining room. We're gonna bring it into the right into the kitchen here. So let's get going. What's up? So this house was built in 1890 or 1900 or somewhere in the middle. It has no birth certificate like a regular modern day house does. A modern day house, their birth certificate is their certificate of occupancy. And so this house, we don't really know when it was built, but it was a long time ago, and everything in this house is solid. It was remodeled in 2004, and they went through and did a lot of stuff. They did the kitchen. We have a 1-car garage. They put that in. Oh, and then in like the year 2000, they put a shed up, a 30 by 40 shed. It's got like 16 feet high ceilings, and just a nice house. A nice house. A older woman had it. Her husband had passed away. Put stuff back together. But anyways, as I was saying, her husband had passed away, and I think the house and the property and everything had gotten to be too much for her. Every time you got to get something done, you got to call somebody, whether it's whatever, plumbing, heating, cooling, even just simple things like lawn maintenance, lawn care. And so, make a long story short, well, I haven't even told you about the solar panels out back, but to make a long story short, she decided, okay, I think I'm gonna sell. So we happened to be just in the right place at the right time. We had our other house that we wanted to sell. And so anyways, we sold our house and got a contract on it first before we'd even found out about this. So we sell our house, we got a contract on it, and we're like quite a ways into the contract. Like, we're gonna close like in less than 30 days. And we're like struggling to try to find something. And so one night we're out looking around and we find a house in the town next to us. We're looking around, we find a house there, and we're like, okay, that's not bad. And we expanded the search a little bit, and I seen this house. Geez, how long a screw do you need to use? And I found this one, and oddly enough, I actually knew the lady that had this house for sale. I had went to high school with her son. Man, that is a, they must have been trying to get into a floor joist. That's totally what they were doing. Oh yeah, because of the weight of the door. So I had been in this house a couple of years ago, and so we're looking online, and we see it, and I was like, where do I know this house from? And so anyways, make a long story short, it dawned on me, oh yeah, that's Mary's house. So we came out and looked at it the next day. So we came out and looked at it, and I thought, you know what? This house would be perfect. It's 125, 24, 134 years old, somewhere in the middle there. And you know what? This will be the perfect launch pad for Mr. How To. So that's it. We bought it. We closed on it. We moved in. That's why I haven't. I didn't do an upload for like almost 4 months because we got done with our house like in March. We listed it, and it took 8 days. The thing sold in 8 days, and then we had to find a house. We found this one. We were busy looking and just keeping our place up, trying to keep it nice and trying to get closed on it and all that. So let's see here. Yeah, that's it right there. I'm not even exaggerating right now. I'll bet you this door, a bag of salt for a water softener is 40 pounds. I'll bet you this is probably easily 1.5, maybe 2. So probably 60, 80 pounds. The doors nowadays, go to Lowe's or Home Depot and look at the doors and lift them up. They weigh like 6 pounds. They're like cardboard and they're empty. So it's right here, solid wood. All right. Come here, Bea. What are you doing in there? What are you doing? Come here. So now we're gonna leave everything in the fridge. Just in case, we're gonna get this in and plugged in and make sure we're good. We did clear the freezer out because there's a lot of weight in the freezer. So let's clear it out. So let's get her out. We're gonna do a quick measurement before we go to put this thing in, because we got a little piece of trim over here, and that makes us 35 5/8. And I feel like that piece of trim is probably gonna have to come out. I just got a gut feeling. Yeah, see, we're 35 3/4. We know that our fridge is roughly 35 3/4. And from, come on, gotta get out of here. From here to here, we are like 35 5/8. So all you do, if you have superhuman strength like me, just pull that piece out. I'll have to, probably what'll end up happening is, well then you also got to use your superhuman strength to get this one out. Look at that. Probably what I'll end up doing, you got to take a miter saw and just straighten that out and then just put her back on there. So easy fix. This is going to be a tight fit. Anybody do anything? Once I get the doors on and get everything hooked up, we'll go ahead and shim it out. I'll show you how to check for levelness, and that's about it. You can go. I have the maid here, taking all the stuff out. I had the maid come help me. The housekeeper. We got the housekeeper on the job. Yep, just clearing it out. We got the kids playing in the freezer. That's probably safe. So all in all, this has fit in pretty good. We did measurements multiple times, probably, I don't even know how many times. Too many to even think about, but we checked and rechecked, and everything fits nice. It fits really good, it fits tight. We went from this old one that we have to now get out of the house, the counter depth fridge, and so it's only like, I don't know, 32 inches deep or something, or 33. This is a full-size fridge here, and there's not much difference. I think these are maybe 36 inches or 35 inches. It's like a difference of maybe 3 inches, but it'll be just enough to where it brings us out past that wall. There's a wall right there, and that's what we wanted. We wanted to go past that wall with the new one, with the doors anyways, and kind of kill two birds with one stone. We wanted a full-size fridge, and then we wanted the doors to come out past that wall. We had actually bought a whole nother fridge and had to return it because it was a counter depth. And we realized after we took the cardboard out that once you open the door would jam into that wall right there. So Home Depot was very nice. We had it for 3 days. There's like a 48-hour return window, but we called them and talked to them, and they said, yep, that's fine, bring it back. So we took it back on a Monday and bought this one instead. This one was on display. This one was on display in the Home Depot, and there it is, all done. Ready to get the doors on. Whenever you put a fridge in, it's always good to check for levelness. You can use a small level, big level, doesn't matter. No floor is ever perfect, so with this one here, zoom right in, nice and close. We can see that we're off a little bit. So if you look at the black lines there and there, if we lift her up just a smidge, There we're level, and now we can see that's our gap right there. So I gotta put, there was a shim that was put right there, this piece of wood that they had in the far back corner. That would lift the whole thing up. Another thing, how I instantly noticed it, bring it in close. We got a big gap here. I can put my finger in and it's real tight down here. That's always another surefire sign that your levelness is off. Walls are usually pretty true. They're pretty level, and if they're off, they're not off. They're definitely, walls are not off by that much. So, but I'm not worried about it right now. We're gonna put our hinges back on. We're gonna put our hinges back on right here. We're gonna put the doors on. We're gonna run the water line through. When we do that, we're gonna then pull the fridge out. We're gonna put the shim in, and then we're gonna hook the water up in the back. So we'll do that at a later time. There's only one way that these hinges can go on. That right there has to hold the door. So it can go on that way, but it can't go on that way, and it can't go on that way because then the hinge is pointing down. So I don't know if all hinges are like that, but we can only hope. These down. These came off fairly easy. I wouldn't go, you can use it, there might even be a torque wrench setting. So you just gotta listen for the click on the torque wrench. There we go. There's that one. Listen for the other one. All right, there we go. Tight there, nice and tight, nice and snug. That one's snug. I don't know if this is steel or what inside, but I would not go overly tight. If you strip them out, then your whole door is no good. Now that's how you're supposed to. Now you're doing real good with the camera. So, how do you like that close up right there? Yeah, that looks. It's hard to say what that is. I would not want to strip these out. All right, let's get our Phillips. Normally I have my tool belt on. That's what I prefer. No matter what I'm doing, I like wearing a belt. You can put everything in your belt. It's there. You don't have to walk all over looking for stuff. But the tools needed for this job were pretty minimal, so. Also too, if you end up ever having to take these out, just use a small ratchet, like a 3/8 drive or a 1/4 inch drive. A 1/4 inch is even smaller. That's your drive right there. That's a 3/8. A 1/4 inch, it's going to give you less torque, so you run less of a chance of stripping things out. All right, we're pretty good there. I'm not going to go any tighter. I'm really not too worried about it. They're in. They're not going to move. That one's tight. Tight. There we go. All right, let's go get the doors on, get the water line fed through. got the door on. I've latched it. Now we're gonna run that water line back through like we did in the beginning. If you remember when I was showing you that line going back through. So that line now should be, I can hear it in the back. It's poking through the back. So we've done that. And now we're gonna reconnect our ground wire. We have one screw for that. Can you hand me that green? All right, so let's connect our ground first. All right, there we go. Ground wire is in. And then we just have one screw for this. We're going to connect that back up. We're going to connect this one back up. Get all your wires back underneath. You should hear it pop on like that. You're going to take your one screw. I knew it was going to happen. I knew it. Yep. I thought that one right into existence. All right, get your screw in. And there we go. If we've done everything right, this thing should close right up. And look at that. There's no jamming, there's no binding. Let's get our trays in. All right, there we go. Tray. Closes real nice. Let's get the other side on. Now this side is very light compared to that one that we just put on. There's like a little nodule, I don't know, hole, whatever you want to call it. You want to feel where that's at. You want to feel where that's at and just set it right on top. That's right where it's going to go. Now in the manual it says 2 people should be doing this. We've got 2 people here at the house. One of us is filming and the other one is doing the install. So there we go. You want to make sure you get a nice flush mount down there, and that should close right up. Okay, so now all we got on this side is just one, and that's probably for the door light. Connect that up. Everything else we left connected. It's all there. We're going to leave that all alone. You want to make sure you get all the wires inside. Make sure that's nothing's pinched. Got a nice pop there, so she's in. Okay. We're going to put our one screw down. There we go, nice and tight, everything's in, there's no wires showing. We're locked in. And I just saw the light go out, so light's out right now, light just turned on, so we're good. All right, next, we only got 3 things left to do. This is that cover that goes on the back for the water. So we're gonna pull it out, we're gonna connect this up, we're gonna put the shim in, push it back in, we're gonna do that right now. We're gonna put the handles on this thing, and that's it, we're done. So, and right here, this is the final finished product. We got the doors back on, we got the water line put back through, we put the handles on. Handles are real easy to put on. All you do, there's 2 little posts, and then you got these 2 little set screws right here. You just put the handle on and tighten up your set screws. And so now we've got ice and water. You get to see inside my fridge. So this is what we like right here. We got some Mott's apple juice. That's pretty tasty. Let's see, we got some old pizza. That's pretty good. Woo! And let's see here, we got an old piece of chicken, barbecue chicken. You can actually see the grill marks on it. That's pretty good stuff right there. And you know, I gotta have my iced coffee in the morning, of course. That's what keeps me going right there. Take a little bit at nighttime too. It's like 9:30 at night right now. It's a bad idea. All right, so let's see, we got chicken bouillon. But other than that, that's about it. Oh yeah, maple syrup. That's a must-have right there for any DIYer. Oh, you hear that? The door has been open for too long. Oh, forgot about that. Look at that. We got a nice tray. Pull the cheeses out. And so also another thing I forgot to tell you, the old fridge was a counter depth fridge, so it's only like 24 inches wide. This is a full-size fridge. And so it only comes out a couple more inches. And it's got a nice big freezer as well. Kernel corn. Look at that. Just beautiful. And that's it. We'll see you on the next one.